B2B Cambodia, the portal for business use in Cambodia.
How does the trademark law in Cambodia apply in situations where there is another business with a brand that might be well known overseas or has already been registered officially as a trademark overseas, but not yet here? But if they make their entrance into the Cambodian market and they see that there's another business that already uses like a similar name or a similar logo, for example, how would the trademark law apply in that situation?
Your question concerns the unregistered well-known mark in Cambodia, meaning that the mark is well-known in the other countries, but the owner has not registered in Cambodia. And the reason that I'm mentioning that is because unregistered well-known mark receive a very limited protection under the law. For example, it can only be against the third party who use the confusingly similar trademark for the same or similar goods or service that trademark is known for. So in that scenario, they can prevent the other person from using their mark based on the fact that they are infringing the right of the well-known mark owner.
And how about in a situation where there is a business here that may have actually registered this mark that's well known in another country, but the business here, I don't know, maybe it could be a coincidence, or maybe they knew that there was another brand in another country that used a similar name and they decided to just go with the same thing. If that foreign business also then enters the Cambodian market, how can they sort of dispute that, or what's the process like?
In this case, when the rightful owner comes in, they can file to cancel that mark based on the bad faith registration. So in this type of cancellation action, the rightful owner has to provide evidence. They have to submit a request with the DIP and they provide evidence saying that, okay, look, I'm the rightful owner. I have used this mark way before this business has been established. I have registered my marks in many jurisdictions. If the DIP is convinced by evidence that, okay, the person, the business that registered the mark in Cambodia is not the rightful owner, they will cancel that mark from the register. And at the time, the rightful owner can either register their mark and also ask that the business in Cambodia to stop using the mark, and maybe they can also claim for damage.
As a legal expert here in Cambodia working in intellectual property, what are some of the common concerns that some of businesses have expressed to you, maybe some of the clients that you've worked with? Any common concerns that they have about the law, like about any gray areas?
We know that, okay, well-known mark afford this type of protection and depend on its registration status. The scope of protection is like this. So, and well-known mark, they have protection even if they are not registered in Cambodia. So cool, right? But the thing is that how to know if a certain mark is a well-known mark? Because in Cambodia, like under the law, it's not clear, but we have a criteria that's set in the trademark manual that guide both the practitioner and the examiner at the DIP on how to determine what mark could be considered as well-known mark. But we do not have a system to, record the well-known mark. We do not have list. In the other jurisdiction, like in China, they have the system to recognize well-known mark. But in Cambodia, we do have criteria, but it depends solely on the examiner knowledge. It's the responsibility of the owner of the well-known mark to really keep monitor what mark have been allowed for registration in Cambodia, any mark confusingly similar to it. And if it finds so, it has to file an opposition. A lot of our clients, because they want to keep it monitored in every jurisdiction, right? We have this thing called like trademark monitor, where they entrust us to monitor the registration status of the mark like every month. So we would keep our eyes out. Like if we see something, that might infringe the interest of our clients, we would report it. And that's what I think a lot of brands has employed right now.
Who is the main body responsible for actually enforcing IP law here? I know you mentioned the Ministry and the Department of Intellectual Property, but are there any other bodies involved?
Yes, actually, beside the DIP and the MOC, the economic police under the supervision of the prosecution under the Ministry of Interior, actually they has the authority to take action against any crime concerning intellectual property. And beside the economic police, we also have courts, but like currently we do not have like a court, a commercial court that is specialized in IP. But as much as I know is that it is in the government plan, it's in the action, like long-term action plans of the government.
What are some legal routes that a business can pursue if they believe that their trademark is being infringed upon?
I think it would depend on the gravity of the case, the nature of the case. Certain type of infringement is not very grave that you need to go to economic police, file complaints, or go to the court. For example, if it's just a case like the nature of a case is not very grave, like just use of confusingly similar mark, for example, the brand owner can send a letter to that business, informing them that, okay, I have trademark right and you are doing this is infringing our rights, so we are asking you to stop, right? So this is the most common route that our clients take, because when we approach, infringement case, people sometimes they don't even know that they are infringing someone's right? So we have to inform them first. But if they don't stop, another step is that we can initiate an administrative proceeding. Actually, it is like a mediation by the DIP of the Ministry of Commerce. If you fail to negotiate or to solve the dispute between parties, but when there is an intervention from the local authority, they might listen. And if that fails to solve the dispute as well, then party can go to court if it's not a criminal case. If it is a criminal case, the infringing action is grave, like you counterfeiting trademark for maybe medicine. It's affect the health of people, right? Business owner, they can file a complaint with the economic police, and then the economic police investigate, gather enough evidence, they can conduct rate action, and after that, if they have enough evidence, they can bear the case further to the court.
Are there any new updates that are coming to intellectual property law that you might know about that you can share with us?
Cambodia recently ratified the Berne Convention here in Cambodia, which means that there is a lot to look forward for in relation to copyright. Being a member to the Berne Convention means that Cambodia has to provide the same protection to foreign work as it provides to the local works. But the thing is that there is still a gray area here, because after the ratification to the Berne Convention, there has not been any regulatory update whether the ratification would mean that we provide protection for all foreign works here in Cambodia. So that's the part that we cannot say one for sure, but it should, because under the law we should, right? But we have to wait for the regulatory updates. And from what I have heard from the ministry is that there will be an amendment to the copyright law, and that is also highlighted in the IP policy. So for us as a practitioner, we look forward to the regulatory updates from the authority before we can say for sure that what will happen.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, thank you.
This was B2B Cambodia's legal update. Thanks for watching. Join us next time as we continue to unpack Cambodia's laws and regulations.